Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The silence from the ministry was a void, and into that void fear poured like a thick, cold fog. It had started with Kebatu, a name, a crime, a catastrophic error. A man who should have been locked away was walking the streets, and the public was told, in no uncertain terms, he was a danger. The system had blinked, and a predator had slipped through. Then came the questions. In the grand, echoing chamber of the House of Commons, they were asked again and again. The man standing at the dispatch box, the Justice Secretary himself, did not provide answers. Instead, he offered deflection. A sharp, "Get a grip, man," echoed where clarity was desperately needed. The repeated inquiry, had it happened again, met a wall of political theater. The refusal to speak became a story in itself, a raging fire fed by the oxygen of absence. The accusation was born in that vacuum: dishonesty. The word was launched across the political divide, a grenade whose pin had been pulled by silence. It was repeated on morning television, analyzed by correspondents, and absorbed by a nation waking up to a new layer of uncertainty. The pressure was not just about a policy failure. It was now about a man, his credibility, and the integrity of his word. While politicians clashed, a more concrete drama was unfolding. The truth, it turned out, was not in the halls of power, but in a cold file of bureaucratic failure. His name was Brahim Kaddour Sharif, 24 years old, Algerian. He had walked out of HMP Wandsworth on October 29th, a simple, staggering error. For 7 days, this man was free. 7 days where the system, which had failed to contain him, also failed to notice he was gone. The alarm was not raised until November 4th, a week of liberty purchased by incompetence. The manhunt, when it finally began, was already a week behind. He was a ghost, his trail cold, his presence a phantom threat woven into the daily life of the city. The two stories, the political storm and the procedural collapse, were now one. The refusal to answer in Parliament was no longer mere a point of contention. It was the lid on a box of horrors. The fiery criticism, the accusations, the piling on, it all pointed back to a prison gate that had swung open too soon and an official silence that had lasted too long. The public's understanding shifted. This was no longer about a single unfortunate mistake. It was about a pattern, a rot. A fugitive was at large not merely because of a clerical error, but because of a chain of failure that stretched from a prison desk to the highest levels of government, a chain whose links were forged from both incompetence and evasion. The city moved on, but with a new, sharp-edged anxiety. The story was no longer about words spoken in a television studio or a parliamentary chamber. It was about the unsettling quiet of a cell that should not be empty and the chilling knowledge that a man deemed a danger was out there. His freedom, a testament to a system that was broken in more ways than one. The hunt continued, a desperate attempt to catch a shadow that should never have been released.